Okay, so now we are live. So what I want to do now is that instead of taking the sutta what I sent, which is Anguttara Nikaya 3.76, I'll be taking Anguttara Nikaya 3.77. This is called Dutiyabhavasutta. That is the second one. The first, I had said the first one, now I am going through the second one. The advantage of the second one is that it will explain about the chetana, which is the intention. So in the first one, that intention is not there. Other things are there, but in this one, we can look at the intention. So this sutta talks about Dutiyabhavasutta. The bhava is to have, to become something which creates a continued existence. So let's understand what is this bhava. So let's say right at present I am a software engineer working in an organization, but then I feel that I should be a painter also, or I should be a singer, or I should be a good husband, or I should be a very good citizen, or I should become an American, or I should become an European, or I should become a Sri Lankan, or I should become something. So I want to become something. So I want to become a good in eyesight, and I want to become good in ears, that is hearing, and I want to become good in tasting, and I want to become good in touching, and I want to become good in smelling, and I want to have a good height. I want to be healthy all the time, and I also want to be wealthy all the time. And then apart from healthy and wealthy, I want to have a good family, and I want to have a nice looking, a very beautiful wife whose skin is totally so nice to touch, very smooth, and her hair should be straight, and then she should be of a good height. And if anybody were to look at my wife, and I get agitated, but at the same time I feel very happy that I have the most beautiful wife, and then if they ask me, is that your wife, I feel very proud feeling. And at the same time I want to have a very good job, or a very good business, or whatever it is, a huge home, palatial home, many cars, should be able to travel anywhere in the world. And I should be born in a place where I have a lot of abundance. I should not see any scarcity, and I should be able to party all day long, all night long. I should have a lot of money. Like that, my wish list goes in a infinite expectation. So this kind of sensual thinking is the thing which makes the rebirth possible, to become something, so that I can continue the existence without a break. And not only that, I want to do something about this life. I want to correct whatever is not there. So I would like to search for the best of the jobs, and best of the houses, and best of the money I can get, or the best of the professions I can work with, best of the education, best of the health, and best of this, best of that. So all best things. But the problem is that there is no guarantee that I'll get the best. So now there is suffering, and then I need to change that to something else. So if I were to observe, there are a lot of compromises that I need to make in order for this to work. And I am not feeling happy about it, that I did not get what I wanted. At least in the next life, I want these things to work. Because I know that I cannot stay forever. Because I'm going to enter into old age or the middle age and then the old age, and then I had to go through the pain of health not being okay, then landing up in hospitals and so much of pain to be taken, and then impending death, and then there is rebirth. So the question asked by Ananda is, what is it called as bhava? What do you mean by bhava? So Buddha answers that in case there were no deeds to result in the sensual realm, would continued existence or to become in the sensual realm still come about? That means we need to have the kama bhava. So kama bhava comes about with the five senses. The enjoyment, which is called as asada, the pleasure, what I am seeking on that each one of the senses, from the sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. These five gives an impression in the mind that there is something to enjoy, while there is nothing at all to enjoy. So basically what I am doing is that I am anticipating certain kind of enjoyment through these five senses, and that I need the best of those. So I need the best of the sight, and best of the sound, and best of the taste, best of the touch, and best of the smell. But then the problem is nothing is guaranteed on that. So I keep on putting effort to get the best of whatever possible, or I will make it possible. Let's say that currently it's been raining heavily in Bangalore. So we've been having rains from end of last month till yesterday. It has rained, and today is the only day when it has not rained and there is sunshine. And there are a lot of jokes going around internet about Bangalore, and the Bangaloreans are celebrating that the rains have ended and some sunshine and some moon can be seen. People were tired of the rains and cold, and also all the food articles almost in all the homes have decayed, meaning they have got fungus. So they have to throw out a lot of food stuff. And also is that the vegetables have become totally expensive because of the rain. The crops have failed, meaning the entire kilometers of the produce or the whatever has been cultivated has gone. So the cost has increased. But then if I were to choose some other part of India, the cost has not increased. Only in Bangalore, if I can see that the cost has increased. So now if I look at it, I am not getting that bhava, the continued existence. I am getting something which is not likable to me. And because it is not likable to me, I want somehow that to work. So the question what is asked by Ananda is that how, Bhante, can I know this bhava? And Buddha replies very beautifully that kama dhatu kancha ananda kammam na bhavissa apinukho kama bhavo panya ittha iti. Now there is one thing we need to understand about dhatu. So wherever the word dhatu is used, or in Pali dhatu, the English, the translation becomes element, but it is not element, it is the quality. So Pathavi dhatu is the Pathavi earth. It's not earth element, the quality of earth, which is hardness and softness. In the same way, quality of Apo, it's not Apo water element, it is the quality of water or liquid. So what's the quality of liquid? Is to bind something and it to flow. And what is the quality of the tejo, which is the heat? The quality of heat is to expand and also produce hot and cold. And what's the quality of the air, or also called as wind element? The wind element is to move. So whenever the word dhatu is used, the element would not really make sense in all the states, but the quality of that is what Buddha is talking about. It's not about the element as such. So now when he talks about kama dhatu vipakkancha, that is the quality of the kama, that is the sensual. Vipakkancha. Vipak means that it's a residual. So if something were to have a residue, and how that is going to be. So if there is no residue at all of kama dhatu, that the quality of the kama is to get attached to the five senses, that is the sight and sound and taste and touch and smell, with the rupa, that is the rupa, it is the form, shabda rupa is the sound, like that. So if that is not present, and if there were no deeds, kammam na bhavissa, that is, if there is no deed at all done in any one of these five senses, apinukho kamma bhavo panya ittha iti, can there be a possibility of kama bhava, that is to exist or to continue or to become in sensuality? Can that be possible? And Buddha Ananda says that no hetam bhante. That means, what he says is, it's not possible. So he says then, which we can really experiment and see in our garden, or if we have put pots at home for decoration or near our place, we can just go there and see. So what is there to see? First one to see is that there is mud. So there is soil or mud, which is the khetta. So in all Indian language, khetta means field, including Pali. Okay, it's called field. So there is a field. So the pot is ready for taking something, but it is dry. So the mud is hard. So Kamma provides that earth for something to be put to exist. Now what I'm supposed to be doing is, I need to be putting a seed. So when I'm trying to put a seed, what is that it is going to happen? The seed should sprout, but the condition has to match for the seed to sprout. So now if we see in our backyard or in our garden or wherever we have put whatever we have put, we can see for ourselves that it sprouts. So the consciousness job is to sprout anything that it is given to it if the condition matches. So I have put 10 of the seed, but it doesn't give me the 10 small saplings. It doesn't sprout with 10 saplings. It might be 10, it might be 8, it might be 5, it might be 4, it can be only 1 also. That means whatever matches the criteria will then come forth in my pot. The same way, in the same sense, the karma is the field of whatever we are doing. So we can consider 2 kinds of karma, the deeds what we do. One deed which is very good, called as punya. So it's called as punya abhisankhara. Abhisankhara means willful actions in order to produce a desired result. So when we say punya, it means that we are either doing dana or sila, samadhi and all of that. So that helps in collecting enough merits, which is called punya. So we get merits. And those merits, when it comes, it produces these seeds are there. So each punya, the merits, creates seeds. So the consciousness job is to create, bring about those seeds sprouting. So the person is going to be seeing good things, hearing good things, eating good things, smelling good things, and touching good things. Now there is apunya abhisankhara. Out of greed, out of jealousy, out of anger, out of high-mindedness, out of egoism, out of so many different causes, I have done such actions in the past or even today, that when those seeds get into the ground, it has all the potentiality of sprouting. So when it sprouts, it's going to be a bad thing in sight. I don't like it, but I am seeing it. I don't hear this, I don't like to hear this, but I am hearing. I don't like to taste this, but then I am tasting. I don't like to touch this, but I am touching. And I'm not interested in smelling this, but I am smelling. So now if I take an example, I'm born in a place where there is a chemical plant or a desalination plant or septic plant or something. Or I'm born near places where there is war, where there is famine, where there is floods, and where there is unrest, political unrest, or economic unrest, or diseases, or something like that. I'm born in that place. So what is that I'm seeing? I'm seeing bad things, I'm hearing bad things, and I'm tasting bad things, like there is no food to eat and we have to eat whatever gets by. Can be anything, including raw meat, because there is nothing else anybody can do to survive. And there is no water, clean water, so I need to drink whatever the water that is there on the road, whether it's contaminated with whatever. I don't have a choice, so I have to take that. Then I don't like to be touched in a very bad way by diseases, pain, sorrows and all that, and I'm getting touched by that. It's a hard feeling. Let's say there is some kind of body issue and I have to go to the hospital. When I go to the doctor or to the hospital, I don't like to be there. So the sight I don't like, and it smells of a lot of chemicals, a lot of unwanted things. So I'm supposed to smell that, I'm supposed to hear pain. There are a lot of people who are crying, and there are a lot of people who are shouting because of pain, like that. So this is apunyabhi sankhara. And then there is aninjabhi sankhara, where you enter into jhana. So that is not applicable for this. It's applicable for the next section when we go there. So right now, as I can see within myself, that due to craving is the water or the moisture. So I'm craving for existence. I want to enjoy being a good father, good brother, good mother, good wife or husband, and looking handsome or looking beautiful, etc., etc. Not realizing that all that we are trying to do in the name of enjoyment, which is called asada, and seeking out pleasure, we're creating karma, which can be dangerous. So, three things. The field is one, the seed is another, and craving is the third one. So, karma is the field, consciousness is the seed, and the craving is that moisture or water. Due to craving, I am putting more and more water to the seed. So the job of consciousness is to sprout that seed, whatever it can be. If it is punyabhi sankhara also, it will sprout good things. If it is apunyabhi sankhara also, it will sprout those things. Just like in the pot, the consciousness doesn't decide on, oh, this is a weed kind of seed, so I will not grow. And this is a flowering plant kind of one, so I will only grow. No. In the pot, both will grow, whether it is a weed kind or a parasite kind, and also that which flowers nice fragrance. So the one which sprouts with a weed eats away the food of the flowering plant, that's thus killing it, and the consciousness does not care, absolutely doesn't care. So now the question comes, why does that consciousness behave that way because it is supposed to be neutral. And I have no idea as a mind that there's something called neutrality, which is adukkha asukha vedana, that I don't know. Because there is something called as sukha vedana, dukkha vedana, adukha vedana. In the same way, in the vijnana, you have all the three kinds. So basically, what is happening here is that the moisture craving creates the necessary condition for all kind of seeds to be developed. Can be a good deed giving good returns and a bad deed getting bad returns. And because of Chetana, which is the sentient beings wanting to do it, it's called Chetana, which is intentions. So he says that due to ignorance, the person will do those things which will give him momentary happiness but thorough suffering. Let's say I wanted to see something and I saw it and that's it, it's gone. I can give you one example. So people go to Alps, be it French Alps or Swiss Alps. It's beautiful to watch. So it takes so much of trouble to go there. And there are trains which can take till there. And when you go there, you need to have money. So not only that you need to have money, the weather should be good. If the weather is bad, you cannot do anything. You cannot enjoy. So there are people who have to go there and enjoy. What if the person has born in that country? Is he happy then? Well, need not be, because he gets tired of looking at those mountains and cold and all other things. So he needs to keep himself warm. So there is momentary happiness in watching that mountain. But if you were to stay there forever, that person might not like it. He wants to go for a hot place. And when he wants to go to the hot place, then what happens to this cold place? Well, he wouldn't like that much, but others would love it. So if they're coming from hot regions and they would intend to go to the French Alps or the Swiss Alps. In the same way, people would like to trek on the Himalayas and they want to feel happy. So it's momentary, but they will take so much of trouble, especially the Mount Everest climbing. It's one of the toughest. A lot of people get killed every year, but the pleasure of going there makes them feel that they need to be doing that all the time. So they have to prepare, they have to run, they have to do the mountaineering courses, they have to engage a good mountaineering company which can take him there and have the necessary gears, necessary food that is required and all of that. And hence Buddha calls that this one is hina. Hina means inferior. So the quality of this is very inferior, because even for preparing food at home, the cutting of vegetables and doing this and doing that, arranging it, making the table, making sure that we have the cutleries and keeping it ready, then heating it up, and then so many things that has to be done. So let's say that whole process takes couple of hours, whereas eating takes hardly 10 minutes. And after that starts the dishwashing. So we need to wash by hand or by dishwasher and do so many things to keep it dry again, and then spend more time in keeping it tidy. So this is hina, inferior, because if we take the pleasure of the tongue, of whatever we are eating, that thing doesn't stay for 10 minutes, that thing stays in the tongue not less than a minute. And it's gone. I put it in the mouth, grind it through the teeth, then the salivation happens, along with the taste is extracted, and that experience is just a minute max. And then the problem of digestion. I have no idea whether it get digested or not digested, and then the food will remain in the mouth. So then I have to clean. So I have to brush the teeth once in the morning and once before retiring to the bed. And if I were to brush too frequently, the gums will have injury and it can recede or can get inflamed. So many things. It's not worth it, the pleasure. Not at all. The same thing with sight. So now I go to the Switzerland and watch these Alps, but then I have to come back to Bangalore. Cannot stay there forever. Or I buy Toblerone chocolate, and then when I put it in the mouth, it seems so good, but after that it is gone. That thing is gone. So again I have to buy the chocolate. So I buy Lind chocolates and then I eat it. It looks so nice, and then after some time the chocolate is gone. Not after some time, hardly takes a minute or so, then the chocolate is completely gone. Like that. So going to Switzerland, or going to Alps, or going to Himalayas, or going to London, going to United States, or going wherever, and becoming that citizen is of no use, because ultimately it is hina, inferior. Wherever I am, I need to be earning, and I need to be buying, and I need to be consuming, but that whole consumption doesn't stay even for a minute. Isn't it such a ridiculous thing of wasting so much time and energy in preparation, which other way we don't know how to do it? So we have to do all of that, and at the end of it, hardly takes a minute. Okay, great. After eating, what happens? Nobody knows. It's a process. I don't have an authority to digest. It digests by itself. Doesn't care whether it's a Lind chocolate or it is no chocolate, or it is rice and some curry, or Indian bread, or a Spanish bread, or it's cheese made out of something. It doesn't matter what I eat. I might have called 100 names, but when it goes into the stomach doesn't care. So it might so happen that I have no idea of what is happening within the stomach. And all that I did of earning and buying the food and eating did not come even for a moment to taste. So I took some 20 gulps and the food is over. So the stomach feels filled up. So I feel happy. And after a while, again I feel hungry. Isn't it stupidity that in quest for tasting, it keeps on coming back again and again and again? And if somebody were to feed me the same food in the morning and the afternoon and in the evening, I don't like it. I need variations of the food. So then I go behind those things. So yesterday I had a thing from Subway, and today I'm having from KFC. Tomorrow I will have from Pizza Hut, and day after tomorrow I will from Domino's. Then I would like to go for Continental and Indian and like that, European or whatever it is. So I keep on changing the diet so that the mind doesn't feel bored about eating that. But here again the boredom is going to set in. So it's an endless process. And if I eat too much of sweets, I get diabetic. If I don't walk, then the body becomes very heavy, so there are problems. So basically, this pleasure cycle of each senses is damaging. So, and hence it is hina, inferior. So it's a quality of the dhatu, or sorry, quality equals dhatu. The quality of this kamma in the kama bhava is inferior. Now we come to the majjhima. It can be middle or it can be called as medium, whatever we want to call that as. So the three things remaining the same: the kamma, the deeds is the field, consciousness is the seed, craving is the moisture. So when I take that, if my seeds doesn't have the kama bhava, instead of that, I am having the rupa bhava. What is that? It's going to happen. The quality of the rupa, that is the form, which is shining better than the kama bhava. Kama bhava, better than that is this rupa bhava. So without the proper preparation through kamma, through the deeds, would there be a possibility of the being to be there in this fine material or fine form of existence? In this existence, there is no need for searching for food, for the physical food, like what we are searching. In the kama bhava, we have to search for the physical food. So every 4 hours, once or even lesser, each one of us are finding food to eat. Whereas in the second one, there is no need of that. So you have to practice the Rupa Jhanas, the 4 Rupa Jhanas. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when we keep on practicing, the mind gets established there. Mind is established through consciousness. So the bija is there of Rupa Bhava. Now there is an intention and the aim for the sentient beings to get established in the Rupa realm of existence. So now today we are in the Kama Bhava, but by always being in the Rupa Jhana, in whichever way we are working on, whether in the office or while going home or going for grocery purchase, going to the doctor to check whatever is being checked, or even with the pain, body discomfort, the mind should be established in the Rupa. So one needs to crave sufficiently to get out of the Kama Bhava and establish the same craving in the Rupa Bhava. So that means the water has to be put for that Rupa which is there in the seed, and then it starts to sprout. So Kamma is the field, consciousness is the seed, and the water or the moisture is coming from tanha or craving. So for all of us, if we don't want to be in the human realm of existence, we need to practice the Rupa Jhana all the time. So how do I practice the Rupa Jhana? Very simple. Vivicchehi kamehi, vivicchehi akusala dhammehi. These are the two things. That means quite secluded from the sensual pleasure seeking, asada, pleasure. So from sight and sound and taste and touch and smell. And vivicchehi akusala dhammehi. In this akusala is the 5 hindrances. So when I get past these tendencies, I am able to achieve and stay in the Rupa Jhana, for which the seed has to be there. So the seed is coming into fruition through vijnana, consciousness, by proper watering, which is the craving, on the field of existence, which is the Kamma. So then my 4 jhanas have got established. The first jhana, the second and the third and fourth gets established. So this, he says, is majjhima, that is medium or middle. So the first one is inferior of what we are enjoying in human realm of existence. The second one is a middle, because, or medium, because you have a better life to lead than the first one. In the first one there is a repetition. Every 4 hours once we have to keep on eating. and we have to go to the restroom or the washroom, and we have to take the bath. We have to find food through earning, and we have to find comfort in staying, and medicines for getting sick. Because we are sick, there is medication. And we have to keep on wearing clothing. If it is very cold, we have to wear many. If it's not that cold, you have to have a lighter kind of dress. So it is such a suffering to keep on feeding, and nothing else we are doing except for just feeding. So earning takes more time than enjoyment. And the person also fears to spend his money or her money because inflation and other market factors. So I don't know how much I've earned is sufficient or not. So there is a lot of mental agony. And people might steal my property or do whatever. Or government might confiscate, or there can be wars. And there can be so many things which happens. So I have to basically endure all of that. And hence it is hina. And here you don't have to do anything like that. And the life is longer than the human existence. And hence it is majjhima. Then we come to the panita. Panita means the best or higher. So which one is the higher? The arupa realm is the higher. Because now there is no need for rupa. Because if there is rupa, there will be exhaustion of the rupa. Just like we are exhausting the rupa in every 4 hours. In the rupa realm of existence, the rupa gets exhausted not in hours, but in years. Not in days, but in years. So when I say year, 1 day in the human realm, 1 year in the human realm is 1 day in the rupa realm. So it is as simple as that. Because it is fine material existence. There is no need for a thick body like what we have with flesh and bones and all that. There's nothing of that which is required. So, the same one, the deed should be of a arupa realm. So now we in the rupa and arupa, one sankhara which really helps us is aninjabi sankhara. Aninja means elimination, or rather liberation. Abhi is higher. So actually you go to a higher level of existence because there is no binding. You are liberating. So for the second one, the majjhima, which is the rupa realm, and the panita, profound or the best or the higher, you require aninjabi sankhara. Whereas in the kama you require only punyabhisankhara and apunyabhisankhara. Whereas in the second and the third one is to establish the anenjabhisankhara. In this, we need to first start with the vinyananchayatana. The akashananchayatana, then vinyananchayatana. And then we reach nothingness, akinchayatana, nevasanya nasanyayatana. So these are the 4 formless realms. If we were to get into the formless realm, it's huge life, huge, because they all come under the Brahma realm of existence, which is highly refined. It's the most peaceful way of existence, but it's still an existence. The bhava is there. So we have a kama bhava, rupa bhava, arupa bhava, and for all that 3 you require the necessary seed. So here I need the arupa bhava seed, which is consciousness, which can sprout this seed through the moisture, which is the craving. So the person should have craving for arupa jhana all the time, not in a formal retreat kind of meditation, all the time. And he should be able to establish from infinite space to infinite consciousness to nothingness, and neither perception nor non-perception, and he should be able to be established in either one or all of it as much as possible, including the time when he's having body aches, including the time when he's in restrooms, including the time when he's in the hospital or whatever it is, or even on his deathbed or her deathbed. He or she should establish the mind in this arupa jhana, and then the necessary seed is there. So the mind now will get established over there. So the pain that one is to take to get into arupa jhana is far higher than what one takes as an effort to land into the rupa realm of existence, and then the effort is far lesser when a person goes into the kama bhava. So for all of that is craving, for all of that you need to have the seed, and for all that you need to have the kamma, which is the field. So now when we see this brilliant problem, that is, if I don't practice jhana, then there is no way I know that my mind has established in the 8th jhana or the 7th or 6th or 5th or the 4 or 3rd and 2 and 1. So if I don't know any one of those at all and never experienced it and never knew that this is how it would be, then I am coming into the hina, inferior, which is kama bhava. So I need to do something extraordinary immediately in such a way that I can get into these 8 jhana and practice and practice and practice and practice all the time, because then the necessary fruits will start coming, because the seeds will start to sprout. So it will remove the kama bhava. That means those kama seeds will no longer be existing in the kamma, which is the field, and the moisture craving is now towards either rupa or arupa. So now what I did is that I have made my existence, continued existence, not in the sensual realm, but in the form or in the formless realm. But the problem with this approach is that there is continued existence. So if there is a slack, or if there's a laziness, or if there is kamachanda or something like that which interferes into the practice, immediately the mind gets established in the hina, which is kama. So it's a grave danger for all of us that if we are slacking, if we are not serious in removing the kama, then 99.99%, no matter how much Buddha and Dhamma we have known, but we will become something in the karma. Because I want to become a scientist, I want to become a professional photographer, I want to become a software professional, a painter, a husband, a wife and a child, and this and that. So I'm not willing to give up all of this unnecessary naming, because when I remove them only can I be established in the rupa realm of existence. If I am attaching to the five senses stimulation and start enjoying the senses, then I cannot go outside the senses at all. I'm going to get stuck. So if the mother dies, I feel very hurt, and then I keep on crying that my mother is dead. Or if a father dies and I'm very much shaken, and I start to grieve and beat my chest that my father has died and I don't know what next to be done, or my wife or child or myself or whoever near to me dies, then my mind is completely engrossed in that relationship. So I have made sure that I have stayed back in the sensual realm of existence. And so my existence as a son, existence as a daughter, existence as a friend, existence as a husband or wife, and existence as this or that continues. So what we should do then? Two things have to be removed. One is kamachanda and vyapada. Other than the three, that is visikiccha along with sila vitta paramasa and sakkaya ditthi. These five hindrances or fetters, if we were to remove, one can reach anagami. He doesn't have to work out for the rupa or arupa, because automatically it land him in arupa existence, into the Brahma realm of existence, wherein from there he can work for Nibbana or Parinibbana basically. So what we should do is to remove the kamachanda and vyapada. Otherwise we would end up with Buddha knowledge or with the Buddha Dhamma knowledge in the hina, that is inferior, trying to search for food from the time the person is brought out of the womb. And we can see it as soon as the child comes out, it starts crying, and then the mother starts feeding Whether it's an animal mother or it's a human mother, doesn't matter. The child starts sucking. If it is a human mother, it will start sucking the breast, and if it is an animal, it sucks the place where the milk is coming. So that's what it's all about. So we need to practice. So what's the practice here? The practice here is to see the danger. So what's the danger here? The kamma is the field, vijnana is the seed, and craving is the moisture. So if I see a woman or a girl coming and I feel lustful about her, trying to see the beauty in her, 100% I am making the seed in the kamma, which is the field, and giving necessary conditions through craving. So even with the Buddha knowledge of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, thankfully, as a Sotapanna, I will be reborn as a human and enjoy the senses because I have become Kama Bhava. Now with the Buddha knowledge, the Dhamma and the Sangha, if I am able to practice the 4 jhanas all the time means all the time, and I can be in equanimity, or I can be in sukha, or I can be in the joy, or I can have established the savitakka savichara, then I am in the rupa realm of existence, which is far better in experience than the kama level of existence. Then, due to knowledge of the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha, if I start working seriously and I have surpassed the Kama, I have surpassed the Rupa, and now I'm going into the Arupa jhanas all the time, and then I am in the Arupa existence. So since I have practiced this way all the time, the existence is panita, which is better, or we can call it as higher, failing which I am in Majjhima, which is the Rupa realm, and failing which I am in Hina, which can be human and animal, and remaining in human is better because then you get another chance to work out. So as a Sotapanna, I can be in the human realm of existence, trying to again figure out on Arupa and Rupa. So what we need to do when we meet every Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, Wednesday and Friday we can take the same sutta and start to contemplate through savitakka savichara. Then you get the joy of knowing it, which will take you to the Rupa Jhana number 2. And then we come into the Rupa Jhana number 3, which will give you Sukha, and the Rupa Jhana number 4, which will give you Upekha, then the Arupa Jhana number 1, which will give you infinite consciousness, infinite space, and then the 6th jhana is the infinite consciousness, the 7th jhana is nothingness, and the 8th jhana is Neva Sanya Nasanyayatana, which is neither perception nor non-perception. So we can take this sutta or any sutta to get into the jhana, for which 4 conditions have to be met. First condition, we should have reduced or removed many of the immoral deeds. Especially for arupa jhana, it is not possible to attain. Meaning we can attain, but we might not sustain. Meaning stay in that state for a long period of time without reducing or removing the 10 immoral deeds. And then we need to practice sampajanya, which is again part of samadhi in all the postures, including going to restroom. And the third one is indriya bhavana, which is removal of senses from the sense objects. And the fourth one is removal of hindrances, the 5 hindrances. So when we do that, the mind automatically starts moving from the rupa to the arupa jhana. And when we completely remove the hindrances and completely remove the tendencies for existence, the bhava, we are going to enter into the 9th jhana, which is sanya vedaita nirodha, which is ending of perception and feeling. With that, there wouldn't be any rebirth, because there is nothing to be reborn as, because there is no bhava, which is continued existence, because there is no upadana. That means there is no grasping, and there is no tanha, craving. And without the water, no seed can sprout. So consciousness will not be able to sprout again. And the kamma, the field, is barren without any seed. And that's the way we can attain complete Nibbana, which is Parinibbana. At the time of death, moments before death, rather, the mind breaks off completely. There's no feeling, there's no perception. So the chitta, field, becomes barren, because the consciousness now doesn't establish anywhere, because there are no seeds left. And since there is no craving, there is no moisture or the water. So it is released completely. So this is the theory, and on Wednesday we can practice. So that's all I had to explain about this sutta. It's a very nice sutta, 3.77. I initially started with 3.76 and I found that 3.77 makes more sense than 3.76, because it also talks about intention. So it is good in that way that we can take 3.77. Yes, Preeti.
7 of Madhyama Nikaya.
No, the same one. Anguttara Nikaya 3.7. Same one. I have sent you 3.76, the next one. That's all.
Okay.
There's no difference.
Now, understood Kamachanda properly. But what about Vyapada? How to practice Vyapada?
Vyapada, you need to look at irritation. That's the best thing. If you're getting irritated for some reason, then you need to apply metta bhavana on yourself. Okay, and when we apply the metta bhavana on ourselves, it will automatically go away. Meaning, first we need to stop hurting ourselves. The first thing we do is to hurt ourselves. Let us say I find somebody is happy, and I find that why am I not happy? So now I am cursing myself. Okay, and that is the problem. So I need to stop doing that.
Metta Bhavana will do.
Yes, see, the first one, for the Kama Chanda, you need to look at Asubha. That is inauspiciousness, or we can call that as you have a very ugly kind of feeling of all the five senses. So then the Kama will go away. Then Vyapada, you need to use the Metta. For the third one, that is sloth and torpor, which is Thinamida, we need to use the energy, Virya. So we need to walk or wash the face or do something. So when I feel sleepy, I need to go to the washroom, put water on my face, and then sit for meditation and eat less. If I eat more, then that tends to be sleepiness. Okay, and I need to bring death as a meditation object. Then the urgency will come that, oh my goodness, if I were to die right now, where will my consciousness get established? Whether it's going to establish in Hina, which is inferior, that is Kama. Whether it's going to establish in the Majjhima, which is Rupa realm, or it's going to establish in Panita, which is higher, which is Arupa realm. So I will come to know myself. Then the fourth one, Udacha Kukkucha. For Udacha, I need to get into the first jhana. For Kukkucha, I need to relieve the remorse. So what I need to do is, I need to watch my breath and keep the count on the out breath. So now I need to do is watch the out breath and count. So if I am counting the out breath, generally, let's say I'm with a doctor, and the doctor is asking me, okay, make your hand straight, and he wants to check my blood pressure. Okay, and I fear what the blood pressure is going to show. That is restlessness. So now I'm feeling restless, so I need to do the first jhana then and there. Okay, whereas on the Kukkucha, I feel I shouldn't have eaten fatty foods. I don't know what my cholesterol level is going to be, and I shouldn't be doing that. I think I did a mistake, or I ate this, I shouldn't have done that, I should have done this way. That is the Kukkucha, which is remorse. So I start imagining that, oh, what if that happens, and what if this happens, and what if this is happening, that is happening. So I need to watch the out breath. If I watch the out breath at that point in time, I would be breathing at around 30 to 40 instead of 10. And it will not show up immediately. There's a palpitation of the heart, but I will not know it. So I need to start counting the out breath immediately. So the doctor is holding my hand, and instead of feeling remorse, saying that, oh, I shouldn't have done this, I don't know, my wife told me don't eat that and I ate it, I shouldn't have done that, all that will come. So instead, just watch the out breath. So the BP also will come down, so it will be calmer. So the heart rate 15, it comes to 15 per minute instead of 40, so it comes down. Okay, that is Kukkucha. Then Visikicha, doubt. Whether I am in a form realm or formless realm, or the Rupa realm or the form realm, Kama, or whether I'm this or that, and how do I know I'm a Sotapanna? So let's say the doctor comes and says to me that, hey Vilas, you know what, we tried our best, you're going to survive only for today. Now what my immediate reaction, that tells me whether I will be in Kama realm of existence, Rupa realm of existence, Arupa realm of existence. If Kama realm of existence, the tear will start. I look at my wife and my son, I feel, oh my goodness, I'm so helpless now, what should I do? And I pray to my God, and then I forget all about Buddha Dhamma. So I don't know anything about it now. My job is to somehow safeguard my life, right? And I asked my doctor, tell me, is it true that I only survive for today? He says, yes, that's all you have. You can call all your relatives and friends and uncles, aunts, whomever you want to do that, you can do it, and we can't do anything. We tried our best. Now what's my reaction? That will show whether Buddha Dhamma has really happened in me or it is not. So I need to practice it. I need to bring it. Otherwise it's just, I might know all the suttas. I might know the Pali. I might know this. I might know that. It's of no use. Absolute waste. So I need to be practicing on all the 5 hindrances all the time, all the time, all the time. Then it breaks. Then you're chipping away all that dirt. See, the very fact that I'm dying, what happens? So from one day, or what about 1 hour? What about 10 minutes? What about 5 minutes? What will you do in 5 minutes? And then mind will say, no, you're not dying anyway. You're taken care of your health. You're done this. So it's so nice to watch. It's instantaneous that I would love to live. And that's what that is, whether we are doing Prathama Bhavasutta or Dutiyabhavasutta, the bhava is to live. I want to continue my existence. So the moment somebody comes and tells me, hey Vilas, you're dying. No. What do you mean I'm dying? No, all the report shows that I'm dying. If I really deeply observe, I'm dying every 4 hours. I need to eat food. And that doesn't come in my mind at all. I'm totally restless. So Udacha will come, Kukucha will come. Because then I will start reflecting, I shouldn't have eaten that, I shouldn't have done this, I think I should have taken care of my health, my wife is to tell me, and this is to happen, that is to happen. Then Kama Chanda will be there. So I will be reborn in the Kama realm of existence, which is inferior. Because the moment I am born, I require food. And the food cycle continues. So now there is nothing I can do. I need to have money, I need to earn, I need to eat. That's all. That's all what I'll be doing. So my parents, the new parents, will feed me, then they teach me, then there's education provided so that I can get a job. Then I get a job, then I start earning, and then I start feeding, and then I start feeding to my parents, and then the parents say that why don't you get married, and I get married. Then they say why don't you have children, and then I have children, and then the cycle continues. So it's becoming, so it keeps on becoming and becoming and becoming. And whenever there's a becoming, there's a rebirth. So now there is rebirth entry happening. So jati, then the aging starts, and then marana, then all that. So 5 hindrances plus removing the senses and sense object. Then before that, staying in sampajanya with samadhi in all the postures, and the removal of 10 immoral deeds will take us to arhat, failing which we will be in anagami. Meaning you will be reborn, but not in a womb existence any longer. You have escaped and you have stayed in arupa existence. Not even in rupa existence, arupa existence. So Wednesday what we will do is, we'll try to attain 1, 2, 3 jhanas. Wednesday and Friday. Again Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Again Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Till we really feel for ourselves that this is sukha. So we will practice till we really, all of us get it. Yeah, this is sukha. And we can verify with the sutta. So we can go to that sutta, read it, and cross-verify our experience. This is how sukha is defined. is this exactly what we have state right now? Did I experience it? And we can tick it, yes, this is what I experienced. And then we can see how the mind moves from the Kama realm to the Rupa realm, and from Rupa realm to Kama realm. So we can really watch it. So when we come back from Rupa realm, it looks so different when we are in Kama. So you can see how the mind establishes here, and when the mind establishes there, and when the mind comes back, what happens? And we can do the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th jhanas. And then we can find out between the Kama realm and the 8th jhana. So there is one sutta which Buddha explains, which I will be taking that when we really get there. He says that if somebody comes to me and says, there is enjoyment of senses, I agree, but I will say this is not the one. Then if somebody comes and tells me that this is the first jhana and I've attained it, and I will say I agree, but this is not the one. Then like that we'll go till the 9th one. He says, if somebody comes and tells me that now I have attained the 9th one, which is Sanya Vedata Nirodha, then I tell him, you have done what you're supposed to do in this life. So we will do it in steps, go there, and you can verify through the sutta whether you have done it or you're not done it, or whether I have done it or I have not done it. So we can be very open, and we can all can share, and including myself, at whether I have properly experienced or I have not properly experienced. So we can see it for ourselves. But for that, we have to be working on the immoral deeds, and then the samadhi, and then we have to get into the indriya bhavana of removing the sight with the eye and the sound with the ears and all that, and then the nivarana, which is removing the curtains.
How to be in samadhi?
Samadhi, there are 10 what Sariputta explains. You take one of them. You can take the food, or you can take the 10 immoral deeds itself. So he says that how things happen. So he gives 4. One is that first, the person is ignorant of 10 immoral deeds. So that is the dukkha. Then he is not aware of the immoral deed because he thinks that is how life is. So that is the cause of that. Then he finds that the 10 immoral deeds have to be replaced with 10 moral deeds. So then he starts working. Okay, now how do I remove it? So somebody had called me yesterday from US. So I was telling him that to remove it, you do the following. You do the first one. Don't harm yourself or others, because when you see your breath, everybody is breathing, every animal is breathing, every being is breathing. That means every being is going towards death. So don't harm yourself or others, and don't kill yourself or others. It's not worth it. So if I keep on working on that and seeing the breath is going away, and breath is going away, breath is going away, so then if I had these many breaths, it is shrinking, and you can see the life is shrinking. It's not expanding, it's shrinking. What I was 10 years ago, the 10 years is gone. No, nobody cares. In fact, yesterday itself is gone, and in fact from morning till now is gone. And there's no way I can go back and collect those breaths, because those are my breath which was there. It's gone. I cannot pull it back. I cannot say, oh shit, I shouldn't have breathed fast. Nobody cares. It just goes up. So if I practice like that, then the non-stealing will go away. Pardon?
Precepts will work on it.
Yeah, for the precept only I'm talking about. See, we are just saying that Panati Pata Veramani Sikka Padam Samadhiyami. It's just like a parrot singing. It's not going to do anything. See, I established 5 precepts. But am I doing the Samadhi? He says Samadhiyami. That means, am I in that state for the whole day? From morning till I sleep. Am I in that state? Need not be, right? In the morning, I will establish the 5 precepts. Agreeable. But what happens in the afternoon? What happens in the evening? What happens in the night? I have no idea. I've forgotten all about that. Again in the morning I will sit down and say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa, just like a parrot, I'm saying it, and then Buddham Saranam Gacchami, then I do that, and then I say Panati Pata Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami, or in English or whatever language I would like to put that, and I say I have done my precepts, I have done this, I have done that, and that's of no use. Because I have missed one part. And that's the major part, is samadhi. I need to be in that state from the morning. Let's say I've woken up at 6 a.m. till I go to sleep. I should be practicing that. Then the immoral deed will go away. Otherwise it will not. So then we have to see which one is predominant in that. Let's say stealing might be predominant for me, or it's not about musavada, is not lies. It is actually the person will not say things as is. He will add something or he will remove something. Like in my case, supposing somebody asks me, Vilas, did you see this happening? I'll give a story. No. The question is, did you see this happening? And my answer should be, yes, I saw this happening. Or I should say, no, I did not see it happening. That's all. But I will give a story, and that story is a problem. The question was asked is, Vilas, you were standing there. Did you see this happening? So I could have said no or yes. If I have seen, I'll say I have seen. If I have not seen, I have not seen. But since I would love to add stories, I give a story. And that I'm not in samadhi at that time. So the samadhi is broken. So in me, the kaya is okay. I'm not killing anyone. I'm not harming anyone. Very good. I'm not stealing. Excellent. I'm not having any affair with any woman, even though I have a wife or whatever it is. I'm not having any affair with anyone, or I'm not doing any kind of sexual misconduct. Beautiful. So 3 out of the body you are not doing. But what about the 4th one? Musavada. What about the 5th one? If 2 people are fighting and I go and talk to this person, take the information and give it to this person with some flowery thing. I'll say that, hey, you know what he was talking about? He was talking about you. You know what? And that is sufficient. I have broken the precept. So pisuna vacha, that is divisive speech or slander. And what about the 7th one? The 7th one is harsh speech. Somebody asked me a question 4 times. Same question. And I said, you idiot, you can't understand this. Finished. Gone. Right? And then idle chatter. I don't have anything else to do, so then I open politics, I open this country and that country, this is good, that is good, look at our roads, it's so bad, and I think they should be doing this or doing that, that movie is so nice, and all that. Sampapalapa. What I am enjoying is sensuality, but what I am wanting is to go into the Arupa realm. That's not possible. I need to check for myself whether the 3 in body, 4 in speech, and 3 in mind, what is my state all the time. Then I have a relief. It starts to clean up, and then I can see in samadhi, which is sampajanya. So I can work, keep on working. I can take 4 Noble Truth. I can take Ahara. I can take the Paticcasamuppada cycle itself. In fact, in that sutta, Sammaditthi Sutta, he gives all. So we can choose whichever you want or whichever I want, and then we can do that. Then again we have to come into the senses, Indriya Bhavana. Work it out. And then we have to come into the last one, which is Nivarana. Hindrance. Then we can try the first jhana. Okay, you'll get light, you'll get bright white light, but that doesn't stay forever. It stays for some time, it goes away. Yes, that happens. You get the light, for sure. But it stays not to that level. The intensity is not there. It goes away. But you have to stay in that state forever. Forever in the sense, for the whole day. Like that, we have to keep on developing. So what we'll do is, now that we know so many of it, I will condense it and we will practice the jhana either in two ways. One is what there in Mahavidyala Sutta, where he talks about two ways of doing it. If somebody finds it difficult to go through jhana, you go through the other one, which is removal of raga, dvesha, moha. So they have two things, right? So 1 week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we do this. Another week, we try that. Ultimately, it will break. Meaning, we all can verify for ourselves that we have reached a particular place. Through the sutta, we can verify, yes, this is where it says, this is how we should have got it, and this is where we have reached. And then you will be really sure that you are a sotapanna. For sure, for yourself, not that I am saying it. You will know for yourself, you are a sotapanna. You don't have to ask anyone at all that am I a sotapanna, am I knowing what I am a sotapanna. That will be gone. Then sakadagami. Do I really know I'm a sakadagami? Yes, you can check for yourself. Then anagami. Do I really know I'm an anagami? Yes, you will. Do I know I've reached arahat? Yes, you will know for yourself. It's not that somebody has to come and say, hey, you're arahat. No need. Because Dhamma speaks for itself. So automatically you'll see. So, but this is what we need to do. So we need to practice. So what we do in that 1 hour is we'll first establish the precepts and then use half an hour for getting into jhana, first jhana. And we'll see what is the progress made. Then you have to practice the second day. So we are meeting on Monday. Tuesday you need to practice. Wednesday we again meet. We again establish all of it. And then we try first and second jhana. And again Thursday you need to practice. And Friday we'll do the precept and we'll start to practice 1, 2, 3. And we'll again, so you have Saturday and Sunday. Then again we meet Monday. Then we again do it. And then we'll see whether we can achieve 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And we will discuss how we have made, what is the progress made. And wherever we are failing as a group, we can fix it up. That's the best way that we all can elevate ourselves together. It's possible. 100% possible. But in that day, you need to practice. Meaning, if you are meeting on Monday, like today is Monday. When we meet on Wednesday, you need to practice on Tuesday, that is tomorrow, the immoral deed removal in whichever way, however way you want to do it. Then being in the sampajanya. Then the third one is about indriya bhavana, and the fourth one is hindrance removal. You have to keep yourself some hours or whatever it is, and you have to do it. Or in your work itself you can do it, whichever way you are comfortable, but you have to do it. Then you can really see the progress. So I would like to end my theory session, and then we only do practical for few months, so it becomes very vivid, and then we can go back to some suttas which are very deep, meaning your basic understanding is there. Then we can take the suttas which are very deep and very straight, like in the Diganikaya there is one Nidana Sutta. It's very difficult to understand, but with this experience we can really understand what is happening there, and then we can practice based upon that. Good question. Any other comment, question? Yes.
I would like to specify, as you were saying, that samadhi, constant samadhi, is important because otherwise we may break the precepts that we are taking, or we might not have the right view. And you are giving examples, and I just take my own experience, and I know that through the day I'm not always mindful. I may be forgetful, I might be not, there is not just awareness that comes up, and I'm in forgetfulness. So I'm not in samadhi. But whenever comes a situation that there is a choice for me to do the good or to do the bad, I become mindful automatically, and I feel kind of very responsible for the choice which is in front of me. I don't follow some reaction without feeling there is a choice. I always remember now is the decision to take. So it means we might be not always in samadhi, or it means that samadhi is there.
Yes, it means samadhi is there. So if you are aware that what decision should be taken, that means you are in samadhi already.
But then it can be that I will be mindless, unaware of things. I can be indulged into senses.
Right. See, the thing is like this. When we are in sotapanna, we might not be aware of being in that samadhi throughout. When we get into sakadagami, we will be able to recognize on what is happening. So you will actually see for yourself that you are not breaking the precept irrespective of what is happening. Okay, and when we get into anagami, you will never break a precept. It is impossible. Because you will become so much aware, because you don't have yourself there. When you will not put yourself into anything. So that's the reason you become an anagami. That means you don't return back at all. There's nothing to return back. If there is self, then you return back. Otherwise, there is no need to return back. Then if we are, or if you are in arhat, you are the sealer. There's nothing like you have to put the precept all the time or in samadhi all the time. You are always in samadhi. So the basic tenet here is that, let's say I have established the precepts, and let's say somebody comes and say that, hey Vilas, do you know one thing? These people are causing trouble, so why don't we go and hit them? You heard, right, that these guys are causing a lot of misery. So why don't we go and hit them, or why don't we go and abuse them? Why don't we do something? At that time, if I'm a sotapanna, immediately I become aware that I shouldn't be doing that activity. So I will not do it, irrespective if I'm provoked. Or somebody says that, hey, there is a new girl in this opposite to your home. Have you seen her? I say, yeah, she looks pretty, right? Yes. Hey, why don't we go and do something to her? I think you should establish a very good rapport with her. If I'm a normal person, then I would like to enjoy her. At least, not physically, at least her company. So I feel she should be my friend and all that. Now, if I'm a sotapanna, I would still go near, but it holds me back, saying that, hey, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. What are you doing? So it holds me back. What if I'm a sakadagami? There's no possession. So when this friend of mine takes me to that girl, I'll just be watching her and feel that this girl, why she is doing so many things, and if she dies this moment, where is she going to land? So I start thinking in that, and my compassion increases towards her. Sotapanna, there is kama chanda. So the kama is very strong. Whereas in the sakadagami, the kama is less. So I start to see her, oh, if she sleeps with this person, or if he does something to her, or if I were to do this to her, am I not causing injury to myself and to her? Am I not cheating on my wife, who is doing so many things for me, and am I not doing it? I feel really frightened. And I start to feel that if I die right now, where I'm going to be reborn. So it withdraws even more further. If I'm anagami, There's no Kamachanda at all. I see her like a skeleton. So now when my friend says, wow, look at her, she looks so nice. I say, what is nice there? You tell me which one is nice there. And he says, you've gone mad. I don't know what kind of a person you are. So then I feel, I didn't see any girl. It was just a skeleton. So I'm a skeleton, she's a skeleton. So what's there to be enjoying there? So this happens not by force. It is natural. Okay. So it's not that I need to be in samadhi all the time. The awareness itself is samadhi. So when I say, am I practicing samadhi, I wouldn't be knowing whether I am a sotapanna or a sakadagami or anagami or whatever it is, right? So let's say I take a base value that we are all starting today. Right? So now when I say panati pata veramani sikkapadam samadhiyami, that means I am not going to kill any living beings and I will remain in the same state forever. Great. Now a mosquito comes. It is making the sound near my ear and I hit it. And that poor chap is stuck in my ear and I take it. That's okay. But I'll say, worst thing, I don't know how this bloody thing comes here. I will ask my wife, why don't you get me some spray? I will just spray of things here. These guys are not here to be living. Now, am I a sotapanna? Absolutely not. Absolutely. In no sense I can call myself sotapanna. Even though I say I'm a sotapanna, everybody knows that this idiot is not a sotapanna. Because he doesn't mind killing. And he's proving why he should be killing. Right? So it's very clear. It's not that I need somebody to say, and then if you guys tell me that, hey Vilas, hold on, you're not even a sotapanna. How are you saying that you're a sotapanna? I say, no, I'm a sotapanna, please listen. And one of you can say, hey, you know what you just now did? You hit that mosquito. I say, mosquito is different. I didn't kill a human being. But what it says, panati pata veramani sikkapadam samadhi, all living beings I'm not going to be harming. It never says only human beings I'll not be harming. So you're not. What you're not, you're not. So if somebody were to pinpoint and say, and I feel really agitated, now what did I break? I broke another sila, which is vyapada. That means I'm feeling angry and anguish and irritated and all that. So I have broken that. So I can watch for myself. So if a mosquito comes here, the best thing is to get up or put on a fan or put on something or wear something, because the mosquito is not trying to bite me. It's coming for food. It has no idea that there is a human being sitting here and he is into Dhamma. I shouldn't be irritating him. He doesn't know. So I need to put on something and sit, and then after some time it will go away. It's not going to bite me anyway. So if I do that, I'm a sotapanna. But when I reach Sakadagami, a beautiful thing happens. No mosquito is going to bite you, for sure. And I'm telling you, it's been now 4-5 years, I think, or more. I can see how dogs behave with me on the road. There are a lot of stray dogs, okay? So when I start walking, and especially in this year, 2020, when COVID started, 2020-21, I'm able to see when I walk on one side of the road and they all go to the other side of the road. They leave the whole area to me. They don't bark. They don't do anything. They just walk to the side. And they walk to the side. They don't even come in the center. And I feel so surprising. And no mosquitoes have bitten me right now, even though there are mosquitoes here. Because yesterday it was raining heavily and there are mosquitoes, so nothing is happening to me. There's not even one mosquito. There's mosquito flying here, but it's doing nothing to me. So I can see for myself, where have I reached? Because there is one sutta which talks about what kind of being will not affect you when you're in Dhamma. There's one which Preeti also knows that there is one sutta which talks about the scorpions, and it talks about the snake and the many kind of leg and flies and mosquitoes and all that. So it says that you will never be harmed by any one of them. And that's true, 100% true. So it depends on which level I'm in, myself in. And that compassion will make them go away. So they don't really harm. So when, I don't have to be in samadhi. See, the mosquito is flying, and then I don't have to say Panati Pata Veeramani Sikkapada Samadhi. No, that stupid thing I don't have to do it. But my hand itself will not go there. So it means I'm in awareness. So when I say we need to be there in that, doesn't mean that we need to sit cross-legged and close our eyes and sit. No, you will be aware. So if you are already aware that you shouldn't be doing this and you should be doing that, that means you are already in samadhi.
It's not only that we know we shouldn't do, there is no desire to do this that
Exactly.
would arise.
Exactly.
There is no this anger or this irritation or something.
Right. It doesn't arise.
It disturbs you, so you kind of send it away, but you don't have intention.
You don't have intention. Yeah, absolutely right. And not only that, you will not get a thought also. That is the beauty of it. You will not get a thought to harm something. You will never get it. No matter how much you try. If somebody comes and shouts at you, you will feel, why is he shouting? And you start feeling compassion towards him, because if he dies, what is going to happen? So you'll start to think in that way and trying to pacify him, saying that, hey, you're trying to harm yourself. Calm down. Tell me what's the problem. Is there a way I can help you? And he says that you are the problem. I say, okay, fine, no problem. But so then I leave him because I don't want to be a problem to him. And he says that from tomorrow, I don't want to see your face. I'd say, great, don't see my face. Excellent. But I'm not going to go and say that, no, you should see my face. And then he's going to get even more irritated. I don't want. So I'll accept what he says, because in the end, it is his karma, his field, and his consciousness, which is the seed. And he is giving moisture, which is a craving. And I have got nothing to do with that. But if I jump into his field, he's going to give his consciousness and my consciousness. That is, he's going to give his seed and my seed. Now we are jointly growing it, and we don't know what we grow. So it's better leave that person. So like that, we can check our 10 immoral deeds, whether we are in samadhi, in terms of the state. So samadhi is from two words, sama and adi. Sama is equal and adi is state. So you are in an equal state, meaning you are staying in that state, whichever state you are in. So if you have calm state, you are maintaining that calmness throughout. So if somebody abuses, somebody says something, or something is happening, or whatever it is happening in our morning till night, you're watching. But you're not getting agitated, and that much of agitation gone will tell you what level you have reached. So it will speak for yourself, and you will be yourself knowing, I've reached here, I've reached here, I've reached here. So it's a very clear indication with the 37 factors of awakening, Bodhipakya Dhamma. We can compare everything, every moment can be compared, and said that whether did I reach or did not I reach, did I reach or did I not reach, and we can see for ourselves for sure how Buddha had framed it, so that even if he is not there, even if the whole translation is totally, completely distracting, it's okay, you can still find out. Meaning, one thing which personally has helped me is, when I see the sutta, no matter who has written it in English or in whichever language, it doesn't matter to me. The moment I see it, it just comes out, oh, this is what it is. I don't generally read that English, and then I start reading it just to understand it better. So whenever there is a differences, I will change myself in my mind that, okay, he meant this. Like, bhava, he has put it as continued existence. It's not truly that. You become something, and that makes it continued existence. So I can't say whether it is Bhikkhu Bodhi or Bhikkhu Sujato or whoever has written is wrong. It is correct. He has written the end result of it. Yes, it is continued existence. But there is one level back, when you become something, and that becoming creates a continued existence. But that doesn't mean that it's always continued existence. But the sutta translation in English is correct. So if somebody says that anicca equals anitya equals impermanence, perfect, no problem. So if we call it as impermanent, it doesn't matter. But it need not be impermanent, because anything that arises and passes away is called impermanence, which is correct. But not knowing that it's arising and passing away, we might not really understand impermanence. But that doesn't mean that the translation is wrong. No, they have put it in a correct way. So in whichever language they could do it, they've done an extremely good job of translating it. Beautiful. Otherwise we wouldn't be knowing the suttas in English. So it's a good thing, it's a beautiful thing. But there are some flaws here and there because of the translation. So if I can go back and look at it, I get that wow effect. Now I found it. Now when I read the sutta, even with that translation, it doesn't really hurt me. Like, some people write dukkha as suffering, and some people write it as dissatisfaction. Some people call by so many different English terms. What is he trying to say? He's going to say that, look, if you don't get it, you feel bad. You are looking at something, you should get it. It can be jhana, it can be something or some material comfort or whatever it is. If you're not getting it, you feel bad. So whenever you feel bad, you know that it is because of anicca. If something is arising and passing away, it was just, you wanted it and it has passed away. The sight is gone and now you can't get the sight, or the sound you wanted, that music you wanted is gone. And you're feeling bad, it is gone, that is true. Like, I don't want to go to the doctor, and then something happens and then I need to go to the doctor. So the good one is gone away. So it means my health condition has gone away at that moment. So I need to visit the doctor, which I don't like. Nobody likes to visit the doctor and then get pinched with something or the other. But I'm feeling bad, I have to go to the doctor. Now when I go to the doctor, I can't do anything, which is anatta. What is that I can do? He says that you stand up, I have to stand. He says now you sleep, I have to sleep. Now he says, okay, give me your hand, I have to give my hand. Then if he is going to give me some IV or something, and he's going to puncture my skin, which is so soft and nice, and I didn't want any scars, but he has put it, I had to take it. So it's so nice to see what is the reality and what I have assumed it to be. So it is good to work out in that way, irrespective of the language. Then when we get to that state, we will see that we are able to get into the jhanas automatically without having to close our eyes and sit. You will be in first jhana without closing your eyes. You will be in second jhana without closing your eyes. You will be in third jhana. Only the fourth jhana, you feel like totally relaxed and you just want to sit and enjoy that equanimity. And in the fifth jhana, you will see an empty space. And I used to do this meditation class for people who join in the evenings. So I have to tell them that, look, you are sitting wherever you're sitting. Do this. So now you sit. What are you sitting on? Chair. Where is the chair sitting on? The chair is sitting on the floor. Where is the floor sitting on? Okay, floor is sitting on the below. If I am in a home, if on the first floor, this floor is sitting on the ground floor. Okay, great. Now where is that ground floor sitting on? It's on the ground. Oh, very nice. And where is the ground sitting on? And then the confusion starts. So where does it? It's on space. Earth is on space. How can Earth stand in space? It is standing in space. Now we can see infinite space. If you move out of Earth in meditation, you'll see only spatial. So from the room to the chair, from the chair to the floor, from the floor to the ground floor, from the ground floor to the crux of the earth, from the crux of the earth to the open space. And you'll really feel at something jerking in your body, because if you really do it perfectly, your body disappears completely and you become space. And you can stay in that. The problem is, if an hindrance is there, it just takes like this and you're back, and then you can't do it again. And that's the problem. So if we don't have hindrances, you can be in that space. Now you see the fun. Consciousness. We all are conscious beings, but we don't feel conscious. We all are conscious, absolute conscious beings. But I feel that she's Preeti, and this is Katrina, this is Richard, and this is Kalpana, and this is this, and this is that, and all that, and my mind is totally gone. Now what if, because of infinite space, I'm able to experience infinite consciousness everywhere? I'm able to feel the consciousness. Then the person goes away. So leading to the infinite consciousness. Then I see the 6 senses perfectly with 6 sense doors in the heart. It looks like a lotus with 6 petals, and you can see one, each of them, like a glass. It's shining. So now I know that there's nothing inside there. There is absolutely nothing. It's like the rear view mirror of a vehicle. The vehicle is not there on the mirror. The vehicle is seemingly entering into the mirror and going away. And I can see the same thing with this. So now I see nothingness. It's literal nothingness. There's nothing. Then I can go to the 7th jhana. No perception. Some perception and no full perception. So I don't have a perceiving. I cannot perceive this as this and this is that. And neither I can say I cannot perceive it. Right? So now I get into that jhana, which is 8th. And now what happens when I enter 9th jhana? There is no perception, no feeling. So there is nothing to feel. So I don't feel she's Preeti. And I don't have perception that it is Preeti. I just see it as consciousness, nothing else. I see a skeleton, and behind the skeleton is consciousness. So when it bends like this, the consciousness is bending like this. It's like a robot thing, right? So there's a electricity coming into that robot, and the robot is doing many things, but there is no person sitting there and doing it. It's just electricity. So you can experience all the 9 jhanas, from 9 to 1 and 1 to 9. You can go at as many number of times as you want. And that's the beauty of it. So 5, 6, 7, 8 is arupa. 1, 2, 3, 4 is rupa. And so we will do that, and then you can experience for yourself. Okay, so it's 10:20, 10:30. I think I have exceeded the time. My wife didn't come and tell me, so she is now used to it. She feels that this guy's gone crazy. Okay, good night and good day, and we'll meet up on Wednesday. Namo Buddhaya. Thank you. Bye.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya. Thank you. Bye.